Ruppersberger.
Thank you for being here. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm going to focus on FISA. It's an important tool that you have. Director Wray, reauthorizing FISA is a top priority for this administration. And from my time as the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, I fully understand the importance of this program and the need to make sure we will have the authority available to keep our country safe. At a March 8th Senate Intelligence Committee hearing, DNI Director Haynes reaffirmed that 702's crucial role in mitigating national security, saying Section 702 permits intelligence gathering against foreign targets at a speed and reliability the United States cannot replicate with any other authority. February of this year, a letter was sent from the administration to congressional leadership. Let me read some of those successes, and the letter reads, over the last 15 years, Section 702 has proven invaluable again and again in protecting American lives and U.S. national security. Section 702 has been used to identify and protect against national security threats to the United States and its allies, to include both conventional and cyber threats posed by People's Republic of China, Russia, Iran, and Democratic People's Republic of Korea. 702 acquired information that has been used to identify multiple foreign ransomware attacks on U.S. critical infrastructure. This intelligence has positioned the U.S. government to respond and to mitigate these events, and in some instances prevent significant attacks on the U.S. networks. Section 702 acquired information related to the sanctioned foreign adversaries was used in U.S. government efforts to stop components for weapons of mass destruction from reaching foreign actors. Almost there. Section 702 has been identified as a threat to U.S. troops and disrupted planned terrorist attacks both at home and abroad, and contributed to the state's successful operation against Anwar Sawari. And those of us who have been around know who he is and what he was. Section 702 has resulted in the identification and disruption of hostile foreign actors' attempt to recruit spies in the United States for or send them operatives to the United States. 702 information has identified key economic security risks, including strategic malign investment by foreign actors in certain U.S. companies. Here's my question, and it's in three parts. If the intelligence community, including the FBI, loses access to 702, how would that impact our ability to counter the growing threat from China? Two, also how 702 impacts the FBI ability to fight back against cyber attacks. Three, can you talk a little about 702 reforms have been implemented since the last reauthorization? And four, can you talk a little about the 702 reforms that FBI supports? That's a lot, but that's it.
Well, thank you, Congressman. Needless to say, I obviously strongly agree about what an indispensable tool 702 is. I'll try to answer as quickly as I can. On China, in a world without 702, the FBI would have lost one of its most powerful tools to detect attempts by Chinese hackers to, pre-position on our cyber and critical infrastructure systems and to root out those hackers before they can act, or to stop foreign cyber attacks while in progress. Almost every day through our 702 intelligence, we see evidence of China's efforts to surveil and steal information about our military, about our advanced technologies, to hack our critical infrastructure, and even to run influence and intimidation campaigns against Americans and Chinese dissidents here. And so without 702, the intelligence community would be blinded in an ever-evolving digital world. Much of what I just said would apply to cyber more generally, because of course the Chinese, although they have the biggest hacking program in the world, are hardly the only cyber threat. And so it's a very important tool for us against the Russians, against the Iranians, and other dangerous foreign adversaries. As to the reforms, I have put in place a whole slew of reforms, especially on 702, especially over the last 18 months or so. Those include all sorts of new policies and procedures, new training, new systems changes, new oversights, new safeguards, new approvals, new double checks. I stood up a whole new Office of Internal Audit. There was no such thing at the FBI before. We have an inspection division, which does great work, but we stood up an Office of Internal Audit, brought back a retired agent who had gone on to be a partner at a Big Four accounting firm to help us stand that up, and we're working with another Big Four accounting firm to help make sure that the audit program we've built out is best in class, and it is specifically focused on FISA compliance. And the reason I bring those things up is that almost every report the members of this subcommittee would have seen about compliance violations and incidents that we've had in the past, even though some of those reports came out, you know, in the last, let's say, 6 months to a year, they all cover time periods that predate those reforms. And so I am confident that the reforms that we've put in place, as we start getting more and more new information, more recent information, will show that we've made significant progress. But I also want to be clear that this is not a one and done for me. This is something I take very seriously, and that this is a long-term project that we're going to be constantly improving, constantly looking for ways to tighten up and improve our compliance, because this is, I think, that's part of being a high-performing organization on a program that is so important. And I just cannot underscore enough the importance of 702 to the American people in terms of foreign threats. As somebody who, in a past life, when I served in the Justice Department in the Bush administration, and was in FBI headquarters on 9/11 and spent time with the families of the 9/11 victims during my time as Assistant Attorney General, I never want to have to look at families and tell them there was something we could have done that was fully constitutional that we chose not to do to help keep them safe.
Thank you, and I'm sorry about the overage, Mr. Chairman.